All right, I'm sitting in the kitchen today, literally on the counter in the camper. But I wanted to bring just a couple of tips for those people that are brand new to camping this year. And gosh knows, in 2020, there are a ton of new campers, right? So here are some things that may scare you a little bit about camping. Just things that we didn't know when I started with an RV, and just, you know, pretty much to tell you it's going to be okay. So, first things first, don't travel with your windows down. And I know this sounds goofy, but the truth is, especially in our fifth wheel, if we have the windows down, you hear every creak and crick of that hitch right in the bed of your truck, right? And I'm always like, the first time we pulled that fifth wheel, I'm like, what is that? Is it popping out? What does that mean? I don't understand, you know? And so don't get overwhelmed. Just keep the windows rolled up, maybe keep the radio low in case something happens. But your camper's gonna creak and you're gonna hear the hitch and it's gonna rock, and maybe if you have a travel trailer, you're gonna hear the chains. It happens, right? Don't be alarmed. The second thing I would tell you is you are not going to be perfect anytime you go camping. You're just not. There's, to us, it's not, we don't wish for something to go wrong. We don't hope something goes, we don't put that energy out into the universe, but things happen, right? A slide doesn't go out. A slide doesn't come back in. Your AC doesn't kick on. The refrigerator doesn't get cool enough. All these little things that you can easily, two things, look it up on YouTube while you're there, or find somebody in the campground that can help you. I cannot tell you how many times people have come up and asked us for help. We had a guy one time, he had a big fifth wheel like us, and he said, "Hey, I noticed you probably have these kind of jacks on your camper." And we were like, "Yeah." He goes, "I have the same jacks and mine are malfunctioning. You don't happen to have your manual on you, do you?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah." So I pulled out our stack of manual stuff that came with the camper, and there happened to be a CD in there specifically for the jacks. So he was able to pop that in his TV, look at it, figure out what he needed to do, and he got it quickly fixed. We had another guy one time, we were pulling out as he was coming in, and he couldn't get his air conditioning started. So Rusty was able to go over and kind of just check on a few things, get him to at least figure out that there was a more serious problem and he needed to get to, a repair place pretty quickly, or else he wasn't going to have air on that trip. All kinds of things. So things are going to go wrong. Just know that there's a huge community there to help you, right? Or literally you can YouTube it. There's so much stuff on YouTube. The last thing that I will say about anybody that is camping for the first time this year, honestly, is have some etiquette. Whether you believe it or not, there are some kind of unspoken rules when it comes to the campground. Don't run through other people's stuff. I honestly just saw in one of the communities the other day that somebody was at a campground, and the people next to him had their dog on too long of a chain, so it got into their campground. Some of these campgrounds are pretty close together. And so if you don't keep that chain short for your dog or whatever, you want to keep your dog, keep your kids, keep them out of everybody else's stuff. That's just etiquette, as well as, picking up your trash and keeping the radio down. I mean, we were camping one weekend. It was actually July 4th weekend several years ago. And the people next to us, I mean, they partied all night long. They had this huge light ball, one of those that flashes all the multicolor lights on top of their camper. And they just, and we heard them say, "This is our first time camping." And we were like, okay, turn the music down. It's 2 a.m. We're tired. So just have some etiquette. Be respectful of your neighbors, and but don't be afraid to ask them for help. So we probably have tons of tips and anything you need to know, or we know the resource to get it from, for any first-time campers out there. Check out pullthroughsites.com. We have tons of blogs and vlogs out there of just all kinds of things that can help you on your journeys this year. And you can also check out a lot of the other stuff that we have on our site, like our journals and mugs, all those things to make your trip great. So check out pullthroughsites.com for all the tips and tricks you need for any first-time camper.